Okay. I was telling you that is our third class. The next class is our final class for this course. Yes. And on the next class, we will do a complete yoga practice together. Yes.
Okay.
So for example, Anna will guide a warm-up, Javi will guide, I'm giving you examples, but it can be different, yes. Javi will guide a cat-cow sequence, Mai will guide the sun salutation, yes, etc., etc. And together we will guide practice, yes. And it's not an exam because I don't need exams in this course. It's another opportunity to practice. Yeah. So of course you will be nervous. I also get nervous. So that's part of the experience. But you don't need to panic. Yes, there's no need to panic because it's an opportunity to practice. Yes, so I understand if you're nervous, it's okay, but try to relax and take it as an opportunity to practice again. So today I will asignar, yes, I will assign you a part of the class, and you will have time to prepare this part. You can send it to me, I can check it, I will send it to you, yes. Or if you feel very confident and you want to improvisar, yes, if you want to improvise, that's okay, yes, it's up to you, yes, you choose if you prepare something or you improvise, yeah. Do you have any preferences for the class? Is there anything in particular you would like to guide?
No.
Because some people, for example, they love the sun salutation and they want to guide the sun salutation, or some people love the relaxation and they want to guide relaxation. I don't know. No? Okay, well, so
I prefer sun salutation.
you prefer the sun salutation? Okay, Javi, but the sun salutation is quick. It's like, it's one of the most difficult, yeah, because you need to guide quickly because it's kind of vinyasa, you know, so, well, it's a vinyasa, so you need to be quick. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay.
One guy and the other one, we are practicing.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, we can be patient and we can wait for you. Okay, so Javi, sun salutation. Today we will study the sun salutation, so you will have the material, yeah? So,
¿Puedo agregarle más cosas o tiene que ser el mismo saludo al sol?
no, you can change it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's start. Yes. If you don't have any questions or anything, we can start. So we have time for everything.
No, I haven't done my homework, so I have no question.
Okay.
But I will do
Okay,
it.
well,
Class.
cool, cool. Okay. So, on the last classes, yes, we studied how to come into and come out of some poses, yes? Which poses did we study? Do you remember?
Warrior 1, 2, and 3.
Great, the warriors, perfect. And what others on the first class?
Cat cow.
Tabletop, yeah, tabletop pose. And remember that in the tabletop pose, you do the cat-cow sequence.
Yes.
And one more,
Dog, down dog.
Down.
down dog, exactly. So when you go into a pose, normally, yes, if it's not vinyasa, if it's a hatha yoga class, you stay in the pose. Yes, you practice permanence into the pose, right? And it's normally during this permanence that we continue, like teachers, we continue saying adjustments or cues, yeah? That maybe they are very subtle, sutiles, yeah? Maybe some of them are very subtle, yeah? And some of them are like very obvious, yeah? So here I have a list of common cues or adjustments that we use in foundational poses. And with foundational, I mean like traditional poses, yes, like poses that we use in most of the classes, yeah? Maybe not contemporary yoga poses, or well, maybe some of them yes, and some of them no. Okay, so you come into the pose, yes? You stay in the pose or you hold the pose. This is important. Come into, stay or hold. And then how do you say desarmar o salir? Do you remember?
Come out.
Come out. Yes? And we practice permanence. Do you like practicing permanence? How do you feel when you stay in the pose for 10 breaths, for example?
Desafiante.
Challenging, challenging.
I
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
Like Iyengar yoga. When
I
You can
haven't practiced Iyengar, but I know that he's like the style is very focused on alignment. And if you want
Yes.
to align, you need to stay a little bit because it takes some time, some breathing, right?
Yes.
To align. So, but I never been to an Iyengar class. I would like to have this experience someday. And Mike, how do you feel with permanence?
It depends on the day. Some days I like it, and
Okay.
some days I say, please.
Can we change?
Yes, I want to come out.
Yeah. For me, I feel that for many years I practiced vinyasa. And then I started like, I think it was last year, I started practicing permanence, you know, like hatha yoga. And I felt it was much like rich for me, at least for me, because I
Much what?
can
Rich?
como rico, como
Yes.
like nurturing, nutritious, you know,
Okay.
because it's like I can really explore the asana, you know, I can really explore the pose, and I feel that I can, you know, the pose changes completely with each breath. So if you stay 10 breaths, it's like 10 different poses, you know?
Yes.
So I'm right now, I really like, sometimes I practice vinyasa, especially to warm up, you know, to warm
Yes.
up para calentar. But I like exploring permanence. In some poses, it's easier. In some poses, it's more difficult, but I think it's cool. Okay, so the first adjustment that we have, yes, on this list is draw your shoulder blades together. What is the shoulder blades? Sorry, what part?
Omóplatos.
Omóplatos or escápulas. Yes, cool. This draw, it's not draw with a pencil, yes? It's different. We have two draws in English, two verbs that are the same, yeah, but they have different meanings. So we have draw, de dibujar, that we also use it, remember when we say draw circles with your elbows. Yes, in that case, yes, it's like dibujar. But here, it means meter o juntar. Yes?
Okay.
For example, cajón, se dice drawer, porque se mete. ¿Sí? Como para que si ya saben la palabra drawer, que es cajón, lo pueden enganchar por ahí. So draw, in this case, it's to bring the shoulder blades together. You can also say bring. ¿Vieron que bring sirve para todo? Bueno, acá la pueden usar también. Yes, bring your shoulder blades together. So, in which poses would you use this cue? Draw your shoulder blades together, for example.
A standing pose.
Standing pose. You mean
Tadasana.
like Tadasana? Okay.
Down dog.
Okay. Down
Down dog?
dog? No, I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use it.
Okay.
I wouldn't use it also in Tadasana, but well, this is personal.
Halasana.
In Halasana, yes, I would use it in Halasana. Anna, what do you think?
No, I am thinking. But Halasana is one.
It's a good example.
Yes.
I would use it in Cobra, yes. You know, because
Yes.
when you bring the shoulder blades together, you open the chest.
Back
So
bend.
basically in back bends, right? In camel, in upward facing dog, in this kind of poses, I think it's a very useful cue, yeah? In down dog, I normally do the opposite. I separate
Okay.
the shoulder
Okay.
blades.
Yes. separate.
Before in my personal practice, I used to do this. I used to draw the shoulder blades together because it felt good at that time. I was breastfeeding, estaba amamantando,
Yes.
and I
Okay.
had this need, you know, like for me, it was really necessary to open.
Okay.
But now I changed the pose and I feel it's better to separate. Okay, cool. Then, well, engage your core, your abs. We already mentioned it before, yes. And I think it's a cue that we use a lot in many different poses, right? So I will continue. Tuck your tailbone. So do you remember what is the tailbone?
Yes.
Yeah, coccyx, right? Perfect. And do you remember tuck that we mentioned it before? When we talked about down dog, we mentioned this word, tuck.
Tuck your toes.
Tuck your toes, exactly, que era como meter. Tuck is draw, they are similar, yes? So, meter los dedos, in this case, it's meter como hacia adentro, yes? De meter, bueno, siempre es hacia adentro. Meter el coxis. ¿Vieron cuando indicamos el coxis?
Como vascularizar la pelvis, ¿no? Pero
Claro, vascular la pelvis. Se puede indicar desde la pelvis, desde el coxis. Bueno, hay gente que lo indica desde otras partes también, pero bueno, desde el coxis. So, for example, in which poses do we say this? Tuck your tailbone.
Warrior 2.
Warrior 2, okay. For me, there is one pose that it's very typical that people bring their glutes out, that's not good. So we say, tuck the tailbone. There is one pose that this happens very usually. It's a
Tadasana.
standing pose.
Eh,
Tadasana, okay, could be. Let's see if you guess the other pose. It's a standing pose that you need to engage your quadriceps. And some people practice it with feet together, and some people practice it with feet at hip distance.
Chairs pose.
Which one?
Chair.
Yes, exactly, chair pose,
Hi.
Utkatasana.
I am here, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Because
Oh, hi, Mariel.
I was a
I was
little
like,
bit,
who's talking?
yeah, I had a problem with the voice, and now I entered like 10 minutes ago, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you because in my screen, I only have 3 people, 3 windows, and I didn't see you, so sorry.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Okay, very good. Yes, I was talking about chair pose, Utkatasana. It's very common to use this cue, tuck your tailbone, because people normally they arch, they arch the lower back. That's not good. So we say tuck your tailbone. Okay, the next one is ground your sitting bones on the mat. Yes, so we talked about grounding, yes, this verb that it's very beautiful in English and it doesn't have a translation in Spanish, yes? It can be something like, it's similar to enraizar, establecer, afianzar, yes, similar. And sitting bones, do you remember which part is it?
Los isquiones.
Isquiones, exactly. So, Ana, in which pose would you use this cue?
En la pinza sentada, no me sé el nombre en sánscrito.
Okay, Paschimottanasana.
Paschimottanasana, sí.
Yes, and in English, it's seated, forward, fold. ¿Te acuerdas que forward folds eran las flexiones hacia adelante, hacia
Hacia adelante.
anteriores, y seated porque es de sentado, yeah, so seated, forward fold. Okay, cool. And Javi, where do you use this cue?
Dandasana.
Yes, Dandasana. For me, it's also like the classic ground your sitting pose. Dandasana in English is staff pose. Staff, como decimos así, el staff de un lugar, los empleados, pero staff también significa bastón, que de hecho en español también se llama postura del bastón. Yeah, so staff pose. Okay. Then the typical, keep your shoulders away from your ears. Yes, this is also a cue that we use. I think we use and abuse from this cue.
In down dog, no?
Yes, in down dog. You keep them away from the ears, but you also lift them.
Yes.
Like I've read from kinesiologists and people more from the science field that the movement of the shoulders should be protraction, separation basically, and elevation. So you protract and you elevate, but still my shoulders are far from my ears, I'm not like this. So you elevate, but from this protraction, so they are still far from the ears. Okay, in what other, Maria, in which other pose do you use this one?
In Cobra.
Cobra, yes. I think in backbends, it's very important to use this cue. Okay, perfect. The next one, feel a straight line or feel a line. Yes, it doesn't need to be straight. Between two parts of the body. For example, think of warrior 3. Yes, remember that we practiced it last class. Yes, this balancing pose that the torso and one leg are parallel to the floor. Yeah, so here you can say, feel a line between your right heel, talón, yes, and your fingertips, yemas de dedos. Yes, so you have a line there. Can you think of other examples where you use this?
I don't understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like sentir una línea o visualizar una línea desde una parte del cuerpo a otra, ¿no? Como para alargarse con esos dos
Okay.
sentidos.
Warrior 2,
It can be,
arms.
okay, cool, warrior 2, between the arms, for example, between your front hand and your back hand. Cool, that's a good example.
Tabletop position.
Okay, from where to where, Mariel?
Crown the head from your tailbone.
From the crown of the head to the
your-
tailbone. Cool. Yes, that's a good example too. Any others? Or do you all understand this cue? Yeah, okay,
Yes.
perfect. I also like using it in Utthita Parsvakonasana. Let me see if I can show you. This one that we do here, you know. Like here and here, you know. So here I can say feel a line from your lifted hand, in this case my left hand, to your back foot. Yes.
Or externally, are externally arched. De
Externally arch.
como sentir la línea quizás mismo del meñique, del dedo pequeño, hasta el borde externo del pie.
Ah, okay, yeah, of course, you can be more specific. Yeah, from your pinky toe, yes, pinky finger, sorry, your pinky, es el dedo chiquito, ya lo vamos a ver eso. From your pinky to the outer edge, sería, Javi, outer edge, borde externo. So from your pinky to the outer edge of your back foot. Arch would be arco interno, yeah, so inner arch. Okay. Another one, square your hips. So last class we mentioned this cue in a specific pose. Which one was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
We practiced 3 poses, yes. And in one of them, we actually
Warrior.
in 2.
Warrior
In
1.
warrior. In warrior 1, we can say square your hips. And also in warrior 3, we can also say square your hips. Yeah?
Yeah.
But in warrior 1, the hips are square, square es como encuadradas, in line, in the same line, yeah? They are pointing to the front, forward. And in warrior 3, they are pointing to the mat, yes? But in both cases, they are squared. Of course, you can also use this in mountain pose, in standing pose. Okay, relax your jaw. Do you remember what is the jaw?
Yes, mandíbula.
Great. It's funny because when you say jaw, ya la misma palabra te exige un movimiento de mandíbula muy pronunciado. No sé si es una casualidad o una causalidad, pero bueno, jaw is mandíbula. And I think this is very important. I have to do it all the time when I'm practicing because I start tensing, you know, my neck and my jaw. It's horrible.
I say
but
and smile, but
smile.
relax your jaw.
Yeah, I don't have the smile very incorporated to my practice, but I should use it more. And also, it's very good to use this cue with hip openers.
Hip
You know,
opener.
hip openers. Hip openers. They are poses that help you opening your hips. For example,
Diosa.
frog pose. Which one?
La diosa, I don't know the name.
Goddess
Goddess,
pose. Yeah, goddess pose. Or this one that is pigeon, half pigeon, media paloma. That you bring one leg to the front, you know, bent, and the other leg to the back, extended. Because the hips and the jaw are connected by the fascia, you know, la fascia, the fascia. So when you work on the hips, it's like the tension goes up to your neck, to your jaw. So whenever you do hip openers, try to check your jaw, yes, and you can relax it. Okay, cool. The next one is sink in your pelvis. Do you know this word sink? ¿Les suena de algún lado haberlo escuchado? ¿Ya?
A mí sí, pero de otra cosa, en realidad. ¿Quiere decir otra cosa también?
¿De qué te suena?
En
¿Del
inglés.
Titanic?
Que es la bacha del baño, por ejemplo, sink. ¿o no?
También. Sí, también es la
Bueno.
bacha. Es la bacha,
Pero
but
no
in
sé.
this case, it's a verb. In this
It's
case,
a
it's a
verb,
verb.
ok.
Yeah. No es la bacha. No es lavar los platos en la pelvis, no. So sink is hundirse. Por eso le preguntaba a Ana si le sonaba del Titanic. Sink es hundirse. So if I say sink in your pelvis, yes, it's like bring your pelvis down, you know, like kind of push it down. For example, in Malasana, yes, Malasana is a squat, es una sentadilla. Yeah, do you all know Malasana? Yes. Great, so in these kind of poses, yes, you sink in your pelvis. Also in a low lunge, yes, for example, this. When you are like this, yes, so here I can say sink in your pelvis, yes, so you are pushing the pelvis down and forward. Okay, avoid straining your neck. So avoid es evitar. ¿Sí? Entonces, en vez de decirles, no, don't tense your neck. Don't strain your neck. It sounds very like aggressive, yeah? So I say, avoid, eviten, straining sería como tensar, o como sí, como quebrar. En español decimos quebrar el cuello. Yeah, avoid straining your neck. I can also use it with other things, avoid. For example, avoid lifting your shoulders. Yes, avoid, evitar. Avoid tensing your jaw. Avoid getting distracted. Yes, etc. You can use it with anything that you don't want your students to do. Yes, pero en vez de decirles no lo hagan, es como eviten hacerlo. It's a more polite, educado. Yes, it's more polite. Another cue that is very important in yoga is stay here and now. Yes, it's not referred to the physical body, but to the mind, especially, you know, that the mind starts traveling to other places and other times. Focus on your breathing, yes, especially, well, when you practice permanence and also when you do vinyasa, you need to focus on your breathing. And last, this cue that we already mentioned last class, press through all four corners of your feet. Did anyone read the article? ¿Alguna leyó ese artículo que les mandé? ¿No? Well, if you have time someday, I recommend you to read it because it's very interesting. Cool, so remember that this one we use it especially for balancing poses, yes. Or you can also use it for standing poses, yeah, like Tadasana, Utkatasana, etc. Okay, cool. So we will do, you will work together in groups, yes? So now you know you have a lot of expressions and verbs to guide how to come into and how to come out of the pose, of any pose. And we also have these cues, yes, that you can use to guide during the permanence, yeah? So together in pairs, you will choose one pose, yes? I recommend you to choose something traditional, yes? I don't know, Utkatasana, Trikonasana, Balasana, Paschimottanasana, Pinza, yes? Something simple, not very complicated, yeah? And together you will write down the instructions to come into the pose, to stay in the pose, and to come out. Yeah? When you finish, you will have, let's say, 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes. It's a lot, but try to use them efficiently. Yeah. When you finish, we come back to this room and you present your work. Yeah. Is it clear? The instructions? Yeah. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. And I will be around, yeah, so if you have any questions, you can ask me, of course. Okay, so I will go to the groups. Wait. Okay, sorry, I had to interrupt you, Javi and Mai, but we need to continue and I want you to share your work, Yes, so maybe Ana and Mariel, can you start? Yes, presenting your pose. Javi and Mai, if you want to practice it, you can do it. Yes, but if you don't feel like practicing, you don't need to do it. Yeah, it's optional.
We can share what we.
Yeah. Okay, Mariel, are you starting?
Okay. We will choose Patimottanasana. No.
You can call it in English, seated forward fold.
Okay. We'll start crossing your legs. Screw up with your spine. Your chin at 90 degrees. Lift your hands, and now lift your hands over your head, and exhale, fall forward. Stay here for 3 breathing. Try to relax. Inhaling.
Come up vertebra by vertebra, rounding your spine. The crown of your head, come up last.
Okay, cool, perfect. Great. Would you change or add anything, Javi and Mai? What did you think about this seated forward fold? Would you add, agregar, would you add anything?
Something with the arms when we are going back. Because I go forward, I start like this.
When you are
Yeah,
folding?
going up, coming out of the pose.
Well, but if you...
I didn't know what to do with the arms. Sorry, but maybe it's me.
Okay. Yeah, normally when you come up vertebra by vertebra, your arms follow,
okay.
you know, like
Okay,
the
yes.
you can say maybe the arms follow, you know, como que los brazos siguen.
Okay.
But it's like, yeah, it could be something to add.
It was perfect, girls.
Yeah, very good job. Thank you. And Javi, anything you would like to add?
And take your hand in your chin or externally.
Yeah, like grab. Yes, that's also something that I would add. Like grab, tomar. Grab your feet or your toes or your ankles.
Or
you
your
know?
chin.
Or your shins. Yes, that's something important.
Is
Yes,
necessary
it's true.
your feet or something, or just going with your bring your hands forward? You are doing the fourth.
Yeah, you are doing it. It depends. Yes, some people, they don't grab, they just place the hands by the sides. But well, if that's the case, yes, if you don't want to grab, you can say, place your hands by the sides of your legs, for example.
Okay.
That's another option, but maybe like indicate what to do with the hands, if they are active or they are passive, you know, but it's cool to say like what's your intention maybe with the hands.
Also can say stretch your spine. And
yeah, well, here in this pose I would say avoid rounding your back, que hablábamos justo del avoid rounding your back, you know. I think that's I think that's important. too.
En vez de decir como extender la columna, decir avoid rounding your spine.
You can say both. You know, sometimes we say like different things with the same meaning. So you can say both. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
So this is also a post that we will use in our practice. Yes, in our final practice. So maybe if Mariel or Ana, you would like to guide it? Anyone would like, any of you two would like to guide this
I
post?
didn't understand. If
That we will use this
Yes.
work that you did, we will use it for the final practice. Yes.
Yes.
So if you or Mariel would like
Okay.
to guide this post again, yeah, maybe considering these things that we mentioned about the hand, about rounding the back, etc.
Yes, I would like to guide this part.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and my left. I don't know what happened. Javi, are you there to guide Trikonasana, triangle?
No. No lo
No?
terminamos. No, nos confundimos. Con más,
Okay. Okay,
eh,
maybe.
lo que tengo.
Mhm.
Start in standing pose. Take a step to the right foot to the back. Lift your arms in line with your shoulders.
Mhm.
Take a breath and exhale, bend to the right leg.
Mhm.
Bring your right hand into the floor to the ankle on your chin.
Chin.
And feel a straight line between con the other
Between the hands.
square your hips, engage your core, and breathe in the place.
Okay.
Hasta ahí llegamos.
Okay. I don't know if I would use square your hips here. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the hips continue in line or they kind of, you
Sí,
know, like.
bueno, teníamos esa confusión, pero las caderas, queríamos decir que las caderas pointing to the front.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
que se mueven, pero siguen apuntando hacia
Exactly.
la mirada del tronco. Cuando uno va hacia el costado, igual tus caderas apuntan hacia el frente.
Claro, pero no diría square porque square significa que están en la misma línea.
Okay.
Y ahí yo creo que una se eleva un poquito, ¿no? Una de las caderas, ¿no? Del lado que se extiende se eleva. So you can say keep your hips pointing to the front. Yes, you can say that. But I think it's good. You just need to finish how to come out, you know?
Sí, bueno, inhale, exhale, lift your torso in the line, and the other side, y vamos a girar en el lugar.
Okay, you can just turn your feet.
Sí.
Right? Okay, cool, perfect. let's continue because we have some more things to do. And we will go with the sun salutation, yes? Everyone's favorite. Are you fans of the sun salutation, of the Surya Namaskar?
Yes, I am fan.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that Javi is also a fan, or maybe she's a fan of Vinyasa in general, because she asked me to guide the sun salutation. Okay, so let me first introduce you to the poses of this version of the sun salutation. Yes, it's just one version. I normally say that there are as many versions as yoga teachers in this world. Yeah, so there are probably millions of sun salutations, but this is one, yes. It's kind of classic, yeah. So it starts with standing pose, yes. Then it continues with an upward salute. Yes, this is the name of the pose, but it's really normally we don't mention the name of this pose. We just say, lift your arms, extend your spine, look up. Yeah, but it's not a very common name, like it's not very mentioned, the name. Yeah. And from here, from the upward salute, you exhale into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Yes? From the forward fold, you step one foot to the back and you come into a low lunge. It's also called runner's pose, runners como corredor en español, yes? Some people call it equestrian, como postura ecuestre. It has different names, but in general, low lunge, it's quite clear, yes? And you can do it with the knee on the mat, yes, with the back knee on the mat, or the back knee lifted. Sí, acá en el dibujito está elevada la rodilla, pero podría ir también down on the mat. From the low lunge, you go into a plank. From here, you exhale and you go into 8-limbed pose, que sería 8 apoyos. Yes, 8-limbed pose. From here, you go into cobra or upward facing dog, whatever you prefer. And then downward facing dog. And then you repeat. Yes, you go into the low lunge, into the forward fold, upward salute, and standing pose. Yes. So these are the poses in this version. Do you do any other poses, any different poses from the ones I mentioned in the sun, in the Surya Namaskar?
Yes. I don't know if, okay, maybe between forward fold and low lunge in the middle, sometimes I do like straight your spinal, your back,
Yeah.
like this liner.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that's Ardha Uttanasana, and in English we call it halfway lift, que sería como elevarse a mitad de camino, ¿no?
Yes.
And you can do it with your fingertips on the floor or with the hands on the shins, right? How do you do it, Mariel, normally? With the hands on the shins, and from there you extend?
Yes, maybe sometimes take the knees and then extend.
Perfect. Cool. So that's a halfway lift. Any other different poses that you include here?
Yes, and forward fold and take your hand into the mat and jump to the back.
Okay, Yeah.
A plank pose and exhale, bend your elbow in
Mhm.
chaturanga.
okay. Yeah, normally in English, we use the name chaturanga, yes, but you can also call it a low plank, a plancha baja. Yes, so you can say from forward fold, place your hands on the mat and jump your feet back into chaturanga. Yes, or into a low plank, bending your elbows, etc., etc. Mai, what happened to you? Did you have problems with your internet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know
Okay,
if
great.
Javiera guide the post.
Yes, she presented what you did. Yes.
Okay.
But then if you can send it to me, so I check it because we will use it for our final practice. Yes.
Great.
So
Okay.
maybe you, Mai, you can guide triangle pose after the sun salutation or some
Okay.
standing poses. Yeah.
Great. Great.
So you can use already this to prepare.
Perfect.
Okay, cool. So
Sorry,
now
Javiera.
what is it?
No, sorry, Javiera, that.
No, it's okay. I think she was fine.
Okay.
Now let's see a very simple script. Script is guion. Yeah, so let's see a very simple script to guide the sun salutation. So Anna, would you like to read the first part up to plank pose? Yes,
Okay.
and then someone else continues.
Perfect. Okay, sun salutation. Come on to the front of your mat in standing pose. Bring your hands to the heart center. Exhale. Inhaling, bring your arms up over your head. Exhaling, fall forward from your hips. Place your hands on your mat and step the right foot to the back. Then the left foot. Hold a plank pose. On plank pose, sorry.
On plank pose, yes, cool. Mai, can you continue reading?
Yes, sure. Exhaling, bring your knees, chest, and chin down. Inhale, slide forward and open your chest in a cobra pose. Place the top of your feet on the mat. Exhale, tuck your toes on the mat and lift your hips into down dog, forward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot to the front, then your left foot. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up with your arms extended. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart center.
Okay, cool. So let's see. So remember that hold, yes. In this case, it's referring to the breath. ¿Sí? Es retener el aire, in this case. A veces es sostener la postura. Yes, you hold a pose or you hold your breath. In this case, you hold your breath in plank. And then you exhale and you bring the knees, the chest, and the chin. Remember, chin is this, down. Then inhale, slide forward. Slide es deslizarse hacia adelante. Yes, and open your chest in cobra pose. Place the tops of your feet on the mat. Do you remember what is the tops of the feet?
El empeine.
Empeines, exactly. And then to go into down dog, you tuck your toes and you lift your hips. Any other questions? I think the rest of the vocabulary is quite clear, like it's familiar for you already. But if you
I
have any
have-
questions,
Yes, I have a question about hold. It's possible to say hold that takes something como asegurar, por ejemplo, para to do a twist, hold your knees and twist. It's wrong.
yeah, you can say
Okay.
hold. You can also say hug. Para los twists se usa bastante el hug, que es abrazar. Hug. So hug your knee with your left arm. Yes.
Okay.
So you can use hold onto your right knee, whatever, or hug your right knee.
Okay. Another
Yes.
question. Come all. When you use this all, what is the meaning really? Come all the way. Como,
It's like, remember before we mentioned the halfway lift, que es como subir a quedarse a medio camino. Bueno, en este caso no es medio camino, es subir todo, subir del todo. Por eso es come all the way up. Being like, you know, like come into a standing pose.
okay.
It's an expression anyways, you know, like each word has a meaning into the expression, yes,
Yeah.
but maybe if you separate them, it doesn't sound clear, you know, it sounds like weird.
Okay.
But basically it means to come all the way up into standing, not halfway, all the way.
Yes. Okay. It's because the other day you say like all the four, like the expression they put in the
Come on all
four.
fours. Yes, come on all fours. That's also expression, you know, if you try to think it separated, it sounds completely ridiculous, you know, like ir a todos los cuatros. No,
Claro.
it's just expression, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So is your sun salutation similar to this one? Is it different? What do you think?
It's the same.
It's the same. Okay. Yeah. Did you study with Vero?
Yes,
Okay.
same.
Yeah. This is
here
this
you
is from
say
integral
forward.
yoga.
Yes, forward fold, and then I don't know if you say that para abajo y en línea recta.
Yes. We mentioned it before. The halfway lift.
Yes. Okay.
Halfway lift. It's on the chat. It's like
Okay.
Ardha Uttanasana. Okay. And Anna, is the sun salutation that you practice similar? The same?
Yes, same.
Okay, perfect. And Javi, do you practice like Ashtanga, Surya Namaskar?
Yes.
Okay, okay, cool. Well, for Ashtanga, there are a few different things. Yes, like jumping, then upward facing dog. So when you prepare the sun salutation for the practice, if you need any help, because there are some specific instructions, I can help you. Yes, let me know.
Thanks.
Welcome. Okay. Normally we practice this one, but we don't have so much time. Yes, and I prefer that we continue because I want to cover everything. Yes, and there are some important things. So next class we will practice the sun salutation. Yeah, and you will have a homework for the sun salutation. So I prefer now we continue, and then you will continue deepening, profundizando, yes, deepening this sun salutation vocabulary. Yeah. Ay, sorry, me pica la garganta. Okay, let's go to the next pose. Yes, coming into and out of tree pose, Vrikshasana. Yes. So, Mariel, can I ask you to read, please?
Yes, sorry.
Were you leaving? Tenías que.
Yes, no, I am prepared some things, but don't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
I can do it. Tree pose is usually the first standing balance pose that is taught to yoga beginner because it's simple. Take a moment to feel both of your feet root into the floor with your weight distributed equally on all four corners of each foot. Begin to shift your weight in your right foot. Lift your left foot off the floor. Keep your right leg straight, but don't lock the knee. Bend your left knee and bring the sole of your left foot high onto your inner right thigh. Press your foot into your thigh and your thigh back into your foot with equal pressure. This will help you keep both hips square toward the front so your right hip doesn't come out. Focus your gaze, reach it on something that doesn't move to help you keep your balance. Take 5 or 3 or 10 breaths and lower your left foot to the floor and repeat on the other side. Sorry.
Thank you, Mariel.
You're welcome.
Okay, cool. So we have some vocabulary that we already mentioned on the previous classes, yes? Root your feet, for example, yes, remember that we mentioned this one. Distribute your weight on the four corners of the foot. Shift your weight, yes, remember this thing of transferring your weight into one foot. Avoid locking the knee, yes, esto de trabar la rodilla hacia atrás, que a veces nos pasa, yes, so avoid, don't lock the knee. Bring the sole, yes, planta del pie, onto your inner thigh, yes, the pronunciation is thigh, lengua entre los dientes, thigh.
Side.
Okay. Se parece a thing, pero no tiene N, thigh. So press your foot into the thigh and the thigh into the foot. Yes, so they both press. And the hips are squared. You focus your gaze. Gaze is the same as look. Mirada, es lo mismo, solo que es como más elegante, gaze. Yes, so you will hear both words. Focus your look or focus your gaze. And then take 5 to 10 breaths. Great. Any questions about this vocabulary? No? Okay, let's look at the cues here in the picture. Yes, starting from the feet. So spread the toes. Remember that before we mentioned spreading the fingers. Yes, like separating the fingers. Well, in this case, we spread the toes of the support foot. Push the foot into the inner thigh. This knee, yes, the bent knee pushes back very softly. Yes, it's not like pushing terribly. Tilt your pelvis forward. Also, this is very gently. Adjust your glutes. Yes, so you contract your glutes. Push the palms together and pull the elbows apart. So here we have like opposite forces, you know, like the palms together and the elbows, they separate. Yes. Keep the chest lifted. Relax the shoulders away from the ears and find something still. Something still is something that doesn't move. Yes. For example, don't look at a classmate. Yes. Because maybe the person will fall and you will fall too. So you can look at, I don't know, the window or anything. Yeah. Something still. Any questions about this? About the tree pose? Would you add any cues? Do you use any other cues that maybe we can translate?
Maybe engage your belly.
Engage your core, okay, or your belly, yes. Okay. Any other cues that you use here? Okay, and who would like to guide this pose in the final practice? Mariel, maybe? Would you like to guide it? Ah, re pesada que la llamaba siempre que se iba.
Don't worry. I am checking some things, but yes, I can try.
Okay.
Maybe first, the idea is bring your weight of one of the
No, but not
legs.
now, not now. For for next class. For next class.
Yes. Okay. I
Yes.
will improve everything. Yeah, I will
No, no, no.
improvise everything.
Me encantó igual, Mariel ya se mandaba ahí.
Sí, lo hiciste increíble, Mariel.
Y mientras se está preparando para el trabajo. Una genia total. Okay. Yes, for next class. Yes, so you can prepare, take your time. Don't worry. Yeah.
Perfectly.
Cool. Let's continue now. And if we have time, we practice this one at the end. Yeah. Before mudras, I want to go to prepositions. Yes, that it's something important that I promised some of you that we would revise today. Yes. So prepositions in English are confusing. Yes. That's a fact. They are confusing for us and also for English speakers. Yes, it's not only for people who are learning English. I have heard native speakers making mistakes using prepositions. So if you feel confused, don't worry. Yeah. So on this course, we cover some very common prepositions: in, on, at, to, and towards. Some of them indicate place, in, on, at, and to and towards indicate direction. So when there is a movement, we will normally use to or towards because we want to indicate the direction of that movement. Yes? What else? Okay. On the second course that I offer, we study other prepositions, more complicated. Yes, like through, across, along, behind, below, etc. Yes, but for now, let's focus on these ones. So we have in and at. They are very similar. Yes, sometimes you can use any of them. Yes. So sometimes it is possible to use in and to use at. But they have a small difference. They both indicate location. Yes. So I can say, for example, I live in Mar Chiquita. Yes, I'm indicating a location. But if I want to describe a more specific location, for example, my address, I use at. I live at Aristóbulo del Valle, 1049. Yes, like my address. So in yoga, yes, we would say, for example, place your feet at hip distance because it's a very specific location. Or, for example, come at the front of your mat, start at the front of the mat. Yes, because it's a specific location into the mat. We also use at with the verb look. Yes, so we say look at the tip of your nose, for example. Yes, this is a drishti that is used in Ashtanga. Yeah, and it's called Nasagram drishti. So the tip of the nose would be la punta de la nariz. In yoga, is used many cases to describe the body in a pose. For example, start in down dog. The hands in a mudra, yes, place your hands in prayer, and is also part of other expressions. For example, in line, in front, into. Yes, that's also in with other expressions or prepositions. And then we have on. On is different because it's used to indicate the idea of contact between two things. Yes, it's not location, it's contact. So, for example, place your hands on the mat, bring your hands on your waist. Waist is cintura, yes? So bring your hands on your waist, etc. Yes, every time there is a contact with your body and something else, you can use on. And as I said before, to and towards are used to indicate the direction of a movement. To is more general than toward and can be used instead of towards. So most of the times it's the same if you use to or towards. Yes, most of the times. So here you have an example. Walk your feet to your hands. Yes, for example, you are in down dog and I tell you walk your feet to your hands. Round your back to the ceiling, like in cat-cow. Yes, you round your back to the ceiling. Pull your belly button towards the spine. Yes, that's another example. And here we have an example of a script for a pose using these prepositions. Yes. So Anna, would you like to read, please?
Yeah, sure. Going into and coming out of camel pose, Ustrasana. Start in hero pose or Virasana, sitting on your heels, with your back in a straight line. On your inhale, come over your knees. Check that your knees are at hip distance. Now, for a beginner's variation, place your hands on your lower back, lengthen your tailbone, lift and open your chest and look to the ceiling without releasing your head, which stayed in line with your spine. For a more advanced variation, as you bend backwards, place your hands on your heels. Push towards the front with your pelvis and release your head only if you don't have any discomfort in your neck. Stay in the pose for a few breaths, opening your chest. To come out, lift your sternum, coming back to the initial pose with your, no la tengo acá, sorry, lo voy a buscar.
Head.
With your with your head, torso, and thigh perpendicular to the floor. Make sure you compensate with a forward bend, such as child's pose.
Okay, so let's look at the examples of the prepositions, yes? For example, start in a pose, yes, in Virasana. Sitting on your heels, yes, because there is a contact with your glutes and your heels. With your back in a straight line, yes, so here we have an example with in. Then for the breathings, we use on your inhale, yes? This is not a preposition of place, it's more a preposition of time, yes? Because we are talking about the moment where you do something. It could also be at your inhale. It's another possibility. Well, here, check that your knees are at hip distance, yes? Place your hands on your lower back. Look to the ceiling. It could also be look at the ceiling. Yes, it's another possibility. Well, here we have on your heels. Again, discomfort in your neck. Yes, en el cuello. Stay in the pose. And come back to the initial pose, yes. Do you have any questions with prepositions? I think that, Javi, you mentioned you had a question. Is it clear? I will send you an exercise to practice, yes?
It's clear now.
Okay,
Then
perfect.
I confused.
Okay, I will send you a very similar exercise to like a text like this, but you will complete the prepositions, yes? So with that, you will have another opportunity to practice and clarify the use of prepositions, yes?
Okay.
Or maybe, would you like to do it now? I think we could do it now, the exercise, or do you prefer to do it later?
Up to you.
We have time, so we could do it.
Okay.
Shall we do it? Okay. Give me a second that I will open the document.
Sorry, but I have to go.
Okay, Mariel,
Thank
have
you.
a nice day and take care. We'll keep in touch.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Bye. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so this is for seated twist or Matsyendrasana or Ardha Matsyendrasana, I don't, any name that you like, seated twist. Okay, so I will call you, yes, you will take turns and tell me which preposition would you use here, yes? So I start with Javi. Start, staff pose.
Start in staff pose.
Great, or Dandasana.
Or
Grounding your sitting bones and creating spaces, your spine and torso.
in your spine and
Perfect.
torso.
Cool, Anna, I continue with you. Bend your right knee and place your right foot the outside of your left knee. Si se confunden y lo quieren ir haciendo para no perderse, pueden hacerlo, ¿sí? So, imagine you are in Dandasana, yeah? You bend You bend the right knee and you place the foot.
At the outside, porque es un lugar en específico.
Good. It could also be, no, at is good. It could also be on
Okay.
because there is a contact. Yes, because you are
Okay.
placing the foot on the mat at the outside. Yeah, so both could be, but at, I like it. It's good. If possible, bend your left knee and bring your left heel, your right glute.
To the right foot.
To, or what's the other that
Towards.
we use? Towards, exactly. To or towards your right glute. La diferencia acá sería que to sería como un hacia, como que llega, ¿sí? Al glúteo derecho. Pero si yo digo towards, es un hacia, ¿no? Como que hacia esa dirección, no significa que llegue al glúteo, ¿no? Que está bueno también para no generar esta expectativa, ¿no? Del resultado. Ok. Esta sería breathe. Breathe. Ana, breathe. And stretch. Breathe in. And stretch your left arm, the front.
To
The front. Cool. Exhale and hug, the one we mentioned before, yeah? Hug your right knee with your left arm. You continue. Place your right hand behind your back, the mat.
On the mat.
On the mat. Inhaling, press through the palm of your hand, the floor.
To the floor. To.
Yeah, to the floor. It could also be on, like
On.
referring to the hand on the floor. Yes.
Okay.
And lengthen, lengthen your spine once again. Exhaling, Javi, twist the right.
In, no, twist to the right.
To the right. Vieron que a veces son muy intuitivas las prepositions. Entonces, cuando no sepan, consulten su intuición, porque siento que, o sea, mi intuición es que generalmente vienen. Y si te suena mal, probá con otra y la intuición te va a decir, ¿no? So exhaling, twist to the right, gazing, looking, yeah, gazing or looking.
To the back.
To or
Toward.
or towards or
In.
At the back.
no in.
No.
We could also use
At.
We could also use at, look, gazing at the back. So the three options are possible. Cool. Anna, stay the pose.
stay in the pose.
Perfect. For 3 or 5 breaths. And then inhaling, look the front.
Look forward to the front. No.
Look
Forward. No. Look forward.
towards. Could be towards.
No, forward. I say like looking forward to your response. Like an
Forward
email.
and the front is the same.
Yes,
So
Like
towards
looking
the
forward.
front or
Yeah.
to the front.
the front.
And exhaling, come out of the pose, reversing every step. So reversing every step, it means, yes, that you bring the arm back, you release the leg, you stretch one leg, and then you stretch the other leg. Es como desarmar a la inversa,
Okay.
yes? Okay, cool. Yeah, so that was the exercise. I will prepare another one, yeah, because I have the other one with camel, but I will prepare another one with a different pose so you have some extra practice. Yes?
Thank you.
Any questions about prepositions, about these ones or any other prepositions? No?
No for now.
Okay, for now. Okay, cool. Okay, and the last thing, the last topic for this class is mudras. Yes, so to learn the mudras, we will learn the names of the fingers and the names of the parts in our hands. Yes, but before that, I want to ask you, Gabi, for example, do you incorporate mudras in your practices?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And what about in your personal life? Do you practice mudras?
Yes.
Okay. During the asana practice or also separated?
Ambos and
Both, both. Okay, cool. And do you have a favorite mudra?
yes, Yana.
Yeah,
Yana
yes. Okay.
or,
perfect.
or Anjali Mudra.
Mhm. Yeah, of course. Cool. Mai, what about you? What's your relationship with mudras?
No, I do it while I'm practicing,
Okay.
not in my,
During the asana practice.
yes.
And Anna?
I'm not practice too much mudras,
Okay. Me
but
neither, don't worry.
I like it. I would like to learn
Yes.
about.
Well, there are very few mudras that are traditional from yoga, like from the yoga texts, you know, like the Pradipika, Patanjali texts, and etc. Most of the mudras come from dances, you know, from Hindu dances, you know, the ones that they do in Bollywood, you know, that they change the position of their hands. But there are very few, I think that, well, this one, it comes from yoga, you know, prayer mudra, this one that we use for meditation, but there are very few mudras really typical from yoga. The rest of the mudras that some people use are from the Hindu tradition, but from other disciplines, basically. But they are interesting anyways, of course. Okay. So, well, here is an explanation, yes, of what mudras are. So they are hand gestures, yes, and they act as locks, como candados, yes, that guide the energy and reflejos, yes, and reflexes to the brain. So it says by curling would be this, crossing, stretching, and touching the fingers, we can manipulate the mind-body connection. Yes, because the hand has areas that relate to the mind, right? And to other parts of the body, like the feet, you know, like reflexology. You have different points of your feet that connect to your organs, to your body, etc. Yeah, so it's the same with the hands. Cool. So here we have a drawing of a hand. And we have the thumb. Have you heard the expression thumbs up? For example, if a movie is very good, yes, you can use this expression, thumbs up. Es como el me gusta del Facebook, yeah? Thumbs up, it's like, está bueno, yeah? Then we have the index finger, yes, that we use to point, señalar, yeah, the index. The middle finger, yes, the longest one, it's the middle finger. The ring finger, anular, igual anular que viene de anillo, también en inglés, ring, anillo, yes. And finally, the little finger that most of the people call pinky. ¿Sí? ¿Escucharon alguna vez de las pinky promise?
Hmm.
Yes? Okay, so pinky promise is when you cross your pinky with another person and you make a promise, yeah? And then we have the wrist, yes, that we mentioned it last class when we talked about joints. Yeah, so the wrist is the joint that connects your hand with your arm. We have the fingertips, yes, so sometimes, for example, we place the fingertips on the mat, yes, and from there you lengthen, yes, for example, you can do cobra on your fingertips, yeah. We have the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, and the knuckles, yes, the knuckles are these, the bony parts, bony como de huesudas, yes, the bony parts. Cool. So,
No, nudillos, ¿no? Nudillos se dice en español. ¿esto?
nudillos, yes, nudillos. Okay, so here we have a few mudras that you can use in your practices, like the most popular ones. Yes, I know that there are a lot, but these are like the most popular. With the names in English, sometimes I know like prayer mudra, some people call it Anjali, some people call it Namaskar, Namaste. Bueno, sé que tiene, like, it has so many names, yeah, but let's call it prayer, yes, como de rezo, de oración. We understand what is it. So this is simple. Bring your palms together at heart center. You could also say bring your palms at the center of your chest. Yes. Like there are different ways, yes, to describe. Then we have Jian Mudra that I think in Spanish is normally called Chi Mudra, no? Yeah. Mai, can you read the description?
Yes. This mudra is performed by touching your index fingertip to the tip of the thumb while holding your other 3 fingers straight.
Cool. So this is normally used for meditation, right? Then we have Prana Mudra, that you can use it like this. You can use it like this, or you can use it to perform pranayama. Yes, so when you do pranayama, sorry, like this. When you do pranayama, you bring these 2 fingers here and you use this, the thumb to block the right nostril and the other 2 fingers to block the left nostril. Yeah. Anna, can you read the description?
Yes. Prana Mudra. Perform this mudra by touching your ring and pinky fingers to the tip of your thumb while keeping the other 2 fingers straight.
Perfect. Do you use this one for pranayama or do you use any
Yes.
other mudras?
I use this one.
Okay. There is another that is Vishnu that they use like this. Okay, then we have Kali Mudra. Yes, that in Spanish it has many different names. Yeah, but in English we normally call it Kali. Javi, would you like reading the description?
Kali Mudra. All the fingers except the index fingers interlace with the palms facing each other, while the finger interlock. The left thumb rests over the right thumb. You can use this mudra in certain asanas like warrior one.
Do you use these ones? This one, Kali?
Yes, and back bend
In backbends, yeah.
or firmeza, no sé, me da más firmeza para ir hacia atrás.
Yes, me too. Yeah, yeah. You can say you feel more firm when you use it.
Ujú.
Yeah, me too. It's crazy, right? It's like if I have to bend backwards standing, it's like I can go further, puedo ir más atrás if I have the mudra.
Yes, como se usa más la espalda media que ir con tanto a las lumbares. O me da la
Claro.
sensación, al menos a mí, de
Sí,
levantar el esternón.
Uh-huh. I have no idea why, but yeah, I feel exactly the same, that I can lengthen my upper back if I use the mudra. Yes. There is probably some kind of anatomic explanation for that.
Sí, creo que tiene que ver con la rotación del hombro también.
Uh-huh.
Toda la cintura escapular como que se prepara para proyectar el esternón hacia arriba y no entrar a la lumbar. Si
Claro.
voy con los brazos como no agarrados, no entrelazados, voy como puedo llevar el peso a la lumbar, como que esto está desarmado. Entonces acá
Uh-huh.
estamos seguros para tener un back bend seguro.
Yes. Thank you, Javi, for that. Okay, I don't know, do you use any other mudras? Do you practice any others, or have you seen any other mudras that you like? I sometimes like practicing this one, that is, this one is Dhyana, I call it Dhyana Mudra, but I don't know, maybe it has a different name. And it's normally used for meditation.
En Kundalini alguna vez hice uno así, pero no sé muy bien.
Uh-huh.
En sitting pose,
Yes.
cerca como de la pelvis, así.
Uh-huh.
Pero no sé, desconozco.
Yeah. Okay, so normally you use these ones included here. Okay, so that's it for mudras. Do you have any questions about the vocabulary for the hands? No, I think it's quite complete. There you have interlace, that is also a word.
Interlock is always para entrelazar.
Yes,
Entrelazar
so you
dedos.
can say
pero uso mucho
interlace or interlock.
Ok.
Mm-hmm.
Interlace también. Interlace.
Yes, both. Okay, and finally, at the end of the booklet, you have a yoga practice. Yes, it's an example. It's not like the yoga practice. It's just an example. So you have a model, yes, for our final practice. We are not going to read it now because it's long, yes, and I prefer that you read it whenever you have a moment, yeah. If you have any questions about it, you can ask me, but basically it includes everything that we covered in the course, yes. So we covered warm-ups, yes, using simple verbs like lift, lower, bend, twist, yeah. We covered cat-cow, down dog, Surya Namaskar. We covered the warriors, yes. So we have the warrior series 1, 2, and 3. We have tree pose, the poses that you prepare in groups, yes. And then we have the relaxation that it's like you will study the relaxation on the last class. So normally in the practice, I guide the relaxation because it will be something new for you. O sea, vamos a ver el módulo y después vamos a hacer la práctica, entonces va a ser como, no van a tener tiempo para prepararlo. But if someone really wants to guide the relaxation, it's okay. I can send you the booklet before and you can prepare it, yeah? So next class, we will do the same as always. Yes, we have the class, we see the booklet, and then we will have 1 hour for the final practice. Yes? Any
Right. For the next class, I have to guide the Trikonasana. That's
Yes,
my,
and probably something else. Yes, probably something else. Later today, I will send you like the assignments. Les voy a mandar todas las partes que les asigné a cada una. Pero como es una sola postura, Mai, prefiero darte algo más también para que puedas guiar.
okay.
Total,
The next class I will connect and not in the morning, in the evening.
Okay. Okay, you will be at
I
6.
prefer, yes.
Okay.
Because I
Perfect.
have a course, yes.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. And
They
Javi
are too.
and Anna, you will be at 9, right?
Yes, at 9.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, ladies, do you have any questions that you would like to
No.
ask? No?
Thank you.
Okay.
I love these classes.
Okay, shall we close?
Uh,
Thank you. Shall we close sitting for a moment and being grateful, and maybe we can chant together on? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's come to a comfortable position, any position that you like. And let's bring the hands in prayer to the center of your chest. Let's close our eyes for a moment. And feel grateful. Grateful is agradecidas. Let's feel grateful for being alive, for learning new things, for speaking other languages, for sharing our time and our passion with other beautiful people. Let's inhale and chant on together. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you have a nice weekend. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. Yes?
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice
Bye.
weekend.
Have a nice
Bye,
weekend.
everyone.
Bye bye.